بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين، والصلاة والسلام على سيد المرسلين محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين، وبعد. Welcome my student to a new lecture about social statistics. In this lecture we study about standard deviation. The standard deviation is the most frequent measure of a variability, although it's not as easily understood as range. It can be considered as a kind of the average of the absolute deviation of observed values from the mean of the variable in question. This is the most satisfactory and universally adopted measure of dispersion. The measure of central tendency used in calculating standard deviation is mean. What is a standard deviation? Standard deviation is a statistic that measures the dispersion of a data set relative to its mean and is collected as the square root of the variance. The standard deviation is calculated as the square root of variance by determining each data point's relative to the mean. If the data points are farther from the mean, there is a higher deviation within this data or within the data set. Thus, the more spread out the data, the higher the standard deviation. The example below illustrates the computation standard deviation. Example, or first example, the frequency table below shows the distribution of marks in an examination. Use an assumed mean 23 to calculate the standard deviation of marks. We have a sample table here. Contain marks and frequency. How we can make a second table from this step by step. Mark from the first table and frequency also from the first table. We must make a new table like this step. In midpoint X, from where we can account midpoint from a maximum and minimum mark or category, the first category or second or third or anyone. 1 plus 5 divided by 2 equal 3, and 6 plus 10 divided by 2 equal 8, and the other categories. And the third columns, fx, we say fx, from where we can have fx from x multiple f or f multiple x. 3 multiple 0 equals 0. 8 multiple 2 equal 16, and other categories. And we must make D. What's D? D, from where we can calculate D? D equal X, there is a midpoint or second, minus M, assumed mean. Okay, we have assumed mean 23, like this number 23. 3 minus 23 equal 20. 8 minus 23 minus 50, and other steps to make all the table. And we must make FD. From where we can make FD? From frequency equal F, and D from the fifth table. 0 multiple minus 20 equal 0, and 2 multiple minus 15 minus 30. 4 multiple minus 10 minus 40. 11 multiple minus 5 minus 55, and so on. Must we make D square? From where we can have D square? From D square. D square minus 20 multiple minus 20 equal 400. Minus 15 multiple minus 15 225. Minus 10 multiple minus 10 100, minus 100, or 100, not minus 100. Minus 10 multiple minus 10 100. Minus 5 multiple minus 5 25. 0 also 0. 5 multiple 5 25. 10 multiple 10 100, and so on. The last table, F multiple D square. We can have this F D square from F multiple D square, from F multiple D square, like the one 0 multiple 400, 0 from F, and 400 from D square equal 0. 2 multiple 225 450. 4 multiple 100 or 400 equal 400. Sorry, 4 multiple 100 400, and so on to all the table. And we must in the end calculate the sigma or summation of F58, Fx 1419, Fd A85, F D square 3975, and we have this table in the end. After this step, we must write formula of standard deviation. We say S equal علامة الجذر and sigma FD square divided by sigma F minus all sigma FD square divided by sigma f square, sigma f. Okay, and all this square. And we in the other step we exchange sample of formula with numbers from the table and نجري العملية الإحصائية بشكل اعتيادي فيكون عندنا الستاندرد ديفيشن 8.2. Now we have another example. The frequency table below shows the distribution of marks in social statistic examination. Use an assumed mean 74.5 to calculate the standard deviation of marks. Marks 42, 49, 52, 59, 62, 69, 72, 79, 80 to 89, 90 to 99. Frequency in the first category 4 and 8, 14, 23, 15, 6. Now, what we must do with first table, we must make this table contain marks, midpoint x, frequency f, f multiple x, d equal x minus m, m 74.5, and fd from f multiple d, and d square from square, and last one fd square from f multiple d square, and we have summation all the table 70 to frequency 5063 fx minus 40 fd, and last 11700 to fd square, and we exchange sample of formula with numbers from the table, and we have the result 12. That means the standard deviation is 12.9. Thank you, my dear students. نأمل أن نلتقي بكم بمحاضرة أخرى إن شاء الله. شكرا جزيلا، إلى اللقاء.